Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. There are three areas about which we require clear understanding and knowledge. First area is the experiencer. Who is the experiencer? Second area is the world that is experienced. And the third area is who is the one who is controlling this whole game of the experiencer and experiencer. These are the three major areas in inquiry. And when these three things are clear in our mind, then the sadhana will start happening. See? Then one doesn't have to struggle to do anything. Like when we know, like if I take little bit of more of sugar, I am on a border case. My parents had sugar, my uncles have sugar. We are born in the sugar factory. So when I know about it, naturally withdrawal from the consumption of sugar will start happening. See? Exactly the same way. When we inquire and find out what is our correct identity, who is this person who is miserable or happy, and when we thus conduct our inquiry, we come to know evam satchidananda swarupam swatmanam vijaniyat. Thus come to discover that we are essentially Satchidananda Swarupa of the nature of conscious blissful existence. Up to here we have seen. Now the second area is about the world. What this world is. See? When we talk about this world, exactly what comes in front of us. In Panchadashi, there is a chapter, fourth chapter. And in the fourth chapter, they speak about the Ishvara Srishti and Jiva Srishti. Srishti is the world. So, in the God's creation, Ishvara Srishti, there are no problems. See? And in the creation by the Jiva, there is nothing but problem. So, all the spiritual practices get out of the Jiva Srishti and enter the Ishvara Srishti, the God's creation. So, when we talk about the world, what exactly we mean by the word world? Do we mean my husband, my wife, my children, my problem, my job, my no job, my income tax? Is this the world? Or by the word world we mean the five great elements and then the various kinds of things and beings. So when we say the world is too much for me, exactly what we want to say. See? Many times we use these words so loosely that we can never come to a right conclusion. And therefore, when we say, I am miserable, and then we try to solve the miseries, but we don't find out who is miserable. And there we come to know the absolute self, Satchidananda Swatmanam Vijaniya, is not miserable. It is the conditioned expression. It is the upadhis which are creating a load. And this loaded personality is miserable. And when we come to this conclusion, what will be the spiritual practice? Do not carry the load of the various upadhis that we have been carrying. So we will thereafter stop living only as wife, only as husband, only as brother, only as sister, but we will start playing the various roles that we have to play and abide in our essential nature. This is what is called a spiritual practice. But instead of understanding this way, for us spiritual practice becomes religious practice. And religious practice is as if there is less load on our head, we create more load. And what is that load? We go to one place and there we come to know, if you do this japa of Santoshi Mata, you will be getting peace of mind. And then you start doing the japa of Santoshi Mata. Santoshi Mata goes, then Asantoshananda comes. And Asantoshananda is useless, forget about it. Then only start, Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi. That we do. The third person says, nothing happens Aham Brahmasmi. Do seva. So Aham Brahmasmi, start doing seva. And there we start getting kicks. This world is terrible. And this is how our spiritual practice is a commotion, a chaos. See, spiritual practice is in simple words. Technically it is called as Adhyatma Shastra, pertaining to the self, not pertaining to the world. But then we have to live in this world. What about this world? Be very attentive. When we look at this world as our own self, there will be a different quality of relationship. But when we look at this world as something other than the self, then there will be a different quality in relationship. See, like the daughter-in-law and the daughter. What is a daughter? Daughter is an extension of the mother. So even if she is dumb, normally they are dumb. Even if she is dumb, even then she is accepted with all glory. But if the daughter-in-law may be very good, but she is other, immediately the quality of relationship changes. Therefore, unless we recognize this basic principle, whether we are looking at this world as something other, or we are looking at this world as our own extension, Ishavasya Parishad. Yasmin sarvani bhutani atma eva abhut vijanataha tatra ko moha kashokaha ekatvam anupashyataha. He who has recognized this world as nothing but expansion of one's own being, can there be shoka, moha, the miseries and delusion? See? And therefore, what this world is. So we have recognized, this is what happens with most of the Vedantis, therefore they are dry Vedantis, there is no Ras Nishpatti. See? All only curtness, that is not Vedanta. See? Because I am Brahman, but others are dumb. See friends, if I have recognized myself as the divinity, from that experience, there is nothing undivine in this world. Because we look at the world, what we have recognized ourselves. This example I give a number of times. When I associate myself with the conditioning of money and I think I am poor, then what is the world for me? World is nothing but two types of people, poor and rich. If I consider myself to be body, what is the world? The world is nothing but men and women. Behind every successful man, there is a woman. If the man wants more success, there should be more women. He will be more successful. See, our whole life is a reflection of what we have taken ourselves to be. And when we have discovered our divinity, the world is nothing but Paramatma. See? It is for this purpose, this Tattvabodha talks about what the universe is, what the world is. See? Once I was going somewhere in US, and the person who was driving me, he was a professor of physics, and he asked me this question. In your Vedanta, how do you talk about the creation? So I told him, in Vedanta we don't answer stupid questions. He said, do you mean this stupid? I said, yes. I said, you tell me, in your physics, how do you say the world is created? Oh, it is a Big Bang theory. Can the bang happen unless there are two things? So if there are two things, the world is already there. How can you say the world is created after a Big Bang? And it is a black hole theory. Hole in what? Can the hole exist without a substratum? If there is a cloth, then there is a hole possible. There is a wall, then there is a hole. There is a hole we call as a window. And the hole is not. It is the absence of the wall. Absence of the paper is the hole. So out of the absence, the world has come out. See? And further, when we say when the world is created, so we presuppose there was a time when there was no world. Therefore, when the world is created. See, so many objections come forward. Therefore, in scriptures, the creation is discussed not to prove there is a creation or there is no creation. The purpose of discussing this topic is to bring to our cognition that we are essentially divine. This is the purpose. If this purpose will not forget, then everything will become obvious. Like the law of karma. In the law of karma, what is said? That whatever miseries we have because of our past bad, sinful actions. Means what? Here we are not interested in sending anybody hell to heaven. Our interest is to bring our attention to our own self. So when I say that I am miserable because of my last life's bad deeds, means what? Means I existed independent of the body, so I am embodied and not the body. If this we understand, then the question comes, who is this embodied? And then we are told, we are the jiva. We hold on to that stupid word jiva. Jiva is not. It is a phenomena. But we hold on to the jiva as the individuality and get lost. Punarapi jananam, punarapi varanam, punarapi janani generation. So when the purpose is clear, why we are studying the theory of creation? Why do we talk about creation of the universe? The purpose is this, to bring to our cognition our own divine nature. There is no other purpose. Therefore, atha chaturvinshati tattvabodha prakaram vakshamaha. After having given this introduction, atha now. This atha and o, these two words are considered to be most auspicious. When Brahmaji first uttered the sound, these two words came, atha and o. Therefore, athato brahma jigyasa, atha bhaktim vyakhyāsyāmaha. So, atha is the auspicious beginning of anything. So, we start atha now. Chaturvinshati tattva utpatti prakaram vakshāmaha. We shall tell, what we shall tell? Chaturvinshati, 24, tattva utpatti, how these principles are manifesting Utpatti, how they are created, and what is the prakara, what is the way the whole creation has happened, that we shall now tell. Now the teacher begins. Brahmashraya sattva raja tamo gunatmika maya asti. See, when it is a prakara, means it is a means, it is a technique. It is something like this. Can you tell what will be the average percentage of fat in a mixed sample of milk, which is a mixture of 5 samples which has this percentage, X%, Y%, Z%, etc. What will be the average percentage of fat? I don't know, but then this is the question. So we say, suppose the average percentage of fat is X%. Thereafter, we have to establish the value of X in the same manner. Here, prakara, the technique, the means. Simply saying X percentage is not the answer. It is the beginning, prakara. So here, prakara vakshamaha. So, Brahmashraya sattva rajas tamo gunatmika maya asti. Now, the first step. The absolute reality, Parabrahma, Paramatma, being one without a second, there is nothing other than Paramatma. Now, this Paramatma has its own potentiality called as Maya. Now, here many people brand Bhagavan Shankaracharya as Mayavadi, but it is wrong. See? This Maya, Shakti, potentiality, Prakriti, Avyakta, and so many words are used to indicate the same reality. It is something like the fire and its potentiality to burn. So are we talking about two things? Yes and no. Why yes? Because fire is in the wood. So the wood should be hot. But it is not hot. If there is fire, why it is not hot? Because the burning potentiality is unmanifest. When the burning potentiality becomes manifest, then only the burning starts. So, there are two things. One is fire, second is its potentiality to burn. So, is this potentiality independent of the fire or one with the fire? If it is independent of the fire, then they are two. But they cannot be independent because the burning potentiality belongs to the fire. So, because it is referred separately from effect point of view, therefore it is separate. But it cannot exist independent of the fire, therefore it is one. See? Bhinna api, abhinna api, ubhayatmikano, san api, asannapi, ubhayatmikano. It is and it is not, and it is both. See, it is separate and it is not separate, and it is both. This is what is called as the Brahmashraya Maya Asti. This potentiality of the Paramatma is referred as Maya. On the basis of this potentiality, there are various schools of thoughts. Like, in the Tantra Shastra, Vaishnava Tantra uses Radha Krishna. Radhaji never got married to Bhagavan Krishna. For getting married, you have to be separate. See? So this Radha, being the potentiality of Bhagavan Krishna, cannot get married. And this Krishna cannot remain without Radha. And Radha is all the time holding on to Krishna. You must have seen that beautiful picture of Bhagavan Krishna and Radha ji holding, hugging each other. And next time when you see the feet. There you will see the beauty if the painter has properly drawn. The load is on the foot of Radha and the foot which is lifted is that of Krishna. He doesn't take the responsibility. This world is yours, not mine. See? And the flute, it is again held by two hands. Bhagavan only holds and blows the air. Music is played by Radha. Bhagavan has nothing to say, nothing to not say. So in this Tantra Shastra is called as Vaishnava Tantra. In this Vaishnava Tantra, the same what is said in Vedanta as Brahma and the Maya, in Vaishnava Tantra is called as Krishna and the Radha, or Ram and the Sita, or the Shiva and the Shakti. They are the same, no difference. See? So this Brahman has its own potentiality called as Maya. So Brahmashraya Maya Asti. When this potentiality is invoked, then this Brahman is called as Ishvara. See? When the man is referred with reference to the wife, he is called as husband. See? Like when you meet somebody and you ask, "Excuse me, are you married?" "No, but my face is like that." So immediately there is a glow on the face. See, a married person has got a different glow. Like a glowworm. Narayan. So Brahmashraya Maya Asti. So Brahman doesn't create anything. The fire doesn't burn. It is the burning power which is burning. Fire is the support of all the forms. Agni is the Rupa Tanmatra. The fire supports all the forms. And when the burning power in the fire is invoked, all the forms which were supported by the fire, they are consumed by the fire. See? So this Brahmashraya Maya Asti. Now this Maya in association with the Brahman is something like the manifest Brahman. In the mastic there is fire, but it is unmanifest. When it is unmanifest, the mastic is not hot. But when the fire becomes manifest, it becomes manifest through the burning power. In the same manner, Brahman is beyond manifestation and unmanifestation. But when this Maya Shakti is invoked in the Brahman becomes manifest and becomes the cause of this world called as the Ishvara. Brahmashraya Maya Asti. And what is this Maya? It is Sattva Raja Tamo Gunatmika. Don't forget the word Prakara. We are learning the technique by which our attention is drawn back to our own self. This is the purpose. Don't get lost into creation. Basic should not be forgotten. Now, this Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, nobody has ever seen. These are only words. See, friends. Then how they are mentioned in the scriptures? By observing the effects. It is the effects which give authenticity and birth to the cause. So what is this world? In this world there are three aspects. One is the inert aspect. second is the dynamism aspect, and third is the knowledge aspect. This inert aspect, the cause of this inert aspect is mentioned as tamoguna. The cause of the dynamic aspect is mentioned as rajoguna. And the cause of the knowledge aspect is meant by sattvaguna. So what is this world? The world has only these three aspects. There is inert world, there is sentient being, and there is interaction between the inert world and the sentient being. This is all the world is. Therefore, from these effects, we come to a conclusion that this Maya, the potentiality of the divine, is the Sattva Rajas Tama Gunatmika Maya asti. Whenever two things are mutually dependent, they are not real. Reality is something other than that. Example. Colors and forms are established by the vision. Vision is established if there are colors and forms. So, vision is because of the colors and forms, or colors and forms are because of the vision. Which is the real one? See, therefore, when we talk about cause and effect, we are caught up in this world. So what we have to understand from this knowledge is this. If you really want to get out of this relative world, don't get lost in cause and effect. Bhagavan Shankaracharya writes in Dakshinamurti Stotra, Vishwam pashyati karya karanataya swaswami sambandataha शिष्याचार्यतया तथैव पितृपुत्राद्यात्मना भेदतः स्वप्ने जागृतिवाय एष पुरुषः माया परिभ्रामितः तस्मै श्री गुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये. Vishwam pashyati karya karanataya. The world is created the moment we give authenticity, value, and a status of reality to cause and effect. World is created. Where is the cause and effect existing? Only in the intellect. And when the intellect is closed in deep sleep, there is no cause, there is no effect. There is no world. But in the dream and a waking state, swapne jagrati, there is cause and effect. And it continues. See, friends. Therefore, it is Maya. Maya means a limited experience. Maya doesn't mean, very times it is pronounced as that which is not. It is not like that. Maya, niyate anaya iti Maya. What we see by our eyes is influenced by the limitations of the eyes. Only that much is not the colors and forms. The light waves are much more than our eyes can comprehend. But if we insist that only what I can see by my eyes, that alone is true, then we are under the influence of Maya. See? Similarly, our ears can hear only a particular wavelength or the spectrum of the decibels, not beyond that. But if we imagine, if I can't hear, then the sound doesn't exist, Maya is operating. Therefore, what is meant by this simple statement, that all these experiences which we are gathering, they are influenced by the limitations of various equipments through which we are collecting the information. So, Brahmacharya, Sattva Rajatamo Gunatmika Maya asti. And this Maya is Brahmacharya. This Maya doesn't have independent existence. It is here Vedanta and the Sankhya and the Yoga differ. According to the Yoga Shastra, which is based on the Sankhya philosophy, they say that there is one Prakriti and many Purushas. Okay? And therefore they talk about liberation of each. They are unable to get out of the duality. But what the Upanishad very clearly indicate, that this Prakriti does not have independent existence. Bhagavan also says in Bhagavad Gita, Purusham Prakritim Chaiva Vidhi Anadi Ubhav. Purusha and Prakriti, both of them are Anadi because they are never separate from each other. The consciousness and this world, they are not two, it is one and the same reality. Therefore, Brahmashraya, this Maya does not have independent existence. Now, after this is said, now the story continues. Tataha akasha sambhutaha akashat vayu vayoho tejaha tejasaha apaha advyaha prithvi. Now here, the process of creation begins. When this process of creation we take for study, we become unnecessarily serious, from that, the space and it is not like that. A very simple technical thing. We will study that also. First become light and then will become heavy. One person asked me this question. I mean, in Chandogya Upanishad, they talk about only 3 Mahabhutas and not Panchikaran, only 3 Karan. And here in Tattvabodha Upanishad, they talk about Pancha Mahabhutas and the Panchikaran. What is the truth? I said, you tell me whatever you know. He said, in your Tattvabodha Upanishad, it is said the same thing. Tasmat Atmanaha Akasha Samutaha Akasha Vayu Vayu Agni Agni Apaha Advya Prithvi. I should stop. Don't start like a tape recorder. Cool, very slow. Atmanaha Akasha Samutaha. Now stop here. Akasha is what? First tell me. Akasha is empty. Avakashat Akasha. Means what? From Paramatma, nothing is born. Why worry further? Relax. One Mahatmaji told very nicely. Paramatma was sitting comfortably. Suddenly, he got into a mood of running, like the yogi fellows, go running early morning. Nicely sleep comfortably. Oh. In our Kayodhara, when the students, they learn various yoga things, I enjoy making fun because that is how my life is. So when they eat, that cloth. I tell them, Are yaar, suba jalebi khao. They go on eating cloth. So, from this Paramatma, he was all alone. He got bored. He thought, let me start doing something, and the space is created. Then, what to do? Let us do yoga. He started running. When he started running, that is called as air. And when you run, you become hot. So that is called as Agni. And when you become running and hot, you start perspiring. That has become the Jala. And when you are tired, you sit down, then all the pasina become dried, that is called a Prithvi. So Paramatma, for no reason, he started running. And this is how the whole world is created. How beautiful it is. Therefore, Tataha Atmanaha Akasha Sambhutaha. Paramatma, after having invoked his Maya, Brahmashraya Maya, then from that Ishvara Akasha Sambhutaha, the space manifested. Samyak Bhutaha, the space manifested. Then Akashad Vayu, from the space, the next stage in the creation is the air is created. Now see these two things. Space is absence of movement. Air is nothing but movement. And for the movement to happen, you require absence of movement. If there is no space, there cannot be any movement. See? If you are back in the local train, I avoid going. Earlier I used to go by local train, now I don't go. Because if I have to get into the train, then my kada remain on the platform and I get inside. There is no place to move. And when I come out, my lungi remains inside. No place to move. The movement is possible only if there is space which is motionless without movement. So from the space, the principle of motion called as the air was manifested. And from that Vayoho Tejaha, then from the air, the heat is created, the Tejas Tattva, the fire is born. And from that Tejasaha, Apaha. From this Tejas, the air, waters, they are created. And from the Advyaha Prithvi, and from the waters, the earth is created. Now you will see these 5 elements. If we remember the sequence, you will see it becomes so easy to understand our complete personality, what exactly we are. Space, the subtlest. Little grosser is the air. Little more grosser is the fire. Little more grosser is the water. The grossest is the earth. See? Earth has got all the 5 qualities. Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. 5 qualities. Grossest. The water has only 4 qualities. Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa. There is no Gandha except the Bombay water. It's a unique place. So there are only 4 qualities. Therefore, 1 quality less, therefore it is subtler. Then we come to the fire. In fire there are only 3 qualities. Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa. There is no rasa and gandha in the fire. What is the taste of fire? There is no taste. Keeping this principle in mind, all the Udupi hotels, they give you very hot rasa, hot food, so that there is no problem of taste. So when you eat, no question of any taste because it is so hot. So in the Agni Tattva, there are only 3 qualities, Shabda, Sparsha and Rupa, no Rasa, no Gandha. Then we come to the air. There are only 2 qualities, Shabda and Sparsha. There is no Rupa, there is no form, Rasa and Gandha, there is no taste and there is no smell. Then we come to the space, there is only 1 quality, Shabda, the sound. Therefore, the space is the subtlest. All the spiritual practice is migrating from the gross to the subtle. That is the spiritual practice. So what we do? First, give up the Prithvi Tattva. This is the life prakriya told in the Yoga Shastra. In the Nath Sampradaya, also in the Upanishad, this thing comes. From the toe up to the loins, it is the Prithvi Tattva. From the loins up to the Kumbhalikas is the Jala Tattva. From the Kumbhalikas up to the heart is the Agni Tattva. From the heart up to the throat there is the Vayu Tattva. From the throat up to the Agya Chakra, there is a Akash Tattva. And beyond that is the Manas Tattva. Beyond that is this Mana Buddhi Chitta Ahankar. And beyond the Sahasrara is the conscious being. This is the whole technique. So what then, first of all, when you sit, then dissolve the Prithvi into the waters. Then dissolve the water along with the Prithvi in the fire. Then dissolve the fire along with the waters and the earth into the air. And this is dissolved in the space. And this is dissolved in the mind. This is dissolved in the intellect. And bypass Prakriti and merge in the pure consciousness. It is for this purpose this knowledge has to be used. Otherwise it will become only information. Okay, Tadatmana Akasha Samudaka. It has nothing to do. Therefore, firstly I told you information, interaction and implementation, 3 I's. And when we start utilizing this knowledge, then only the Tattva Jnana will be converted into Tattvabodha. Jnana is only the intellectual understanding or appreciation. It is not experience. Experience is beyond the limitations of the sense organs, mind and the intellect. Now, after these 5 elements are created, the story continues. Etesham panchatattvanam madhye akashasya satvika amshat shrotrindriyam sambhutam vayoho satvika amshat tvagindriyam sambhutam agnehe satvika amshat chakshurindriyam sambhutam jalasya satvika amshat rasarindriyam sambhutam prithivya satvika amshat granendriyam sambhutam. So first, the material was created, 5 great elements. As it was told that this Maya is Trigunatmika, therefore each of the 5 elements also have the 3 gunas, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. So the Sattva aspect of the space, the Sattva aspect of the air, the Sattva aspect of the other 3 elements, what is created is the respective sense organs. So, Akashasya Satvika Amshat Shrotrendriyam Sambhutam. From the Sattvic aspect of the space, the ear is created. Then, from the Sattvic Amsha of the air, Vayoho, Tvagindriyam, the skin which is responsible for the experience of sparsha or the touch. Then Agnehe Satvika Amsha, from the Sattvic aspect of the fire element, Chakshuhu Indriyam Sambhutam, the eyes are created. Then Jalasya Satvika Amsha, Rasane Indriyam Sambhutam. Then from the Sattvic aspect of the waters, the rasana, the tasting organ is created. And then Prithivyaha Satvika Amshat Ghanendriyam Sambhutam. Then from the Sattvic aspect of the earth, the smelling faculty Ghanendriya is created. Now be very attentive. This is not your nose or my nose. It is at the causal level. See, in the 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan says, Bhumirapo nalo vayu kam mano buddhirevaja ahankarati yamme bhinna prakriti ashtadha. So this ashtadha bhinna prakriti is at a causal level. See? And these faculties, the ears or the skin, etc., they are common in all the creation. Everyone sees by the eyes, everyone hears by the ears. So, hearing is not an individuality, it is a manifestation. Seeing is not an individuality, it is a manifestation. See, friends, this is the meaning. So, at the causal level, this principle is established. See, it is something like electrical energy when passes through a condition fulfilled bulb expresses as light. Now this expression of light is at a causal level. If the bulb becomes fused, this principle doesn't get negated. You put another bulb, light will come. In the same manner, this vision is a principle. Whenever a mind is expressing through the eyes, it is called as vision. So if the instrument called as the structural eye is influenced or destroyed, the vision, which is the manifestation of the mind, that vision gets impaired, but the vision is not destroyed. See, friends, because it remains at a causal level. And therefore, here, from these 5 great elements, sattvic aspect, 5 sense organs at the causal level are created. This is how, in the medical sciences, the students study. They don't study everybody's anatomy. See, first time when the patient went for operation and patient was very afraid, nervous. So he told the doctor, patient is lying on the operation table, is very nervous. Doctor, this is my first operation, I am very nervous, I am afraid. Please help me. Doctor said, look here, I have just completed my MBBS. This is mine also first operation, but I am not nervous. Look at me. He has seen the kidney in the dead body. So will you say, unless this fellow dies, I can't see the kidney? See, the place of kidney is common in all the human beings, leaving some abnormal, aboriginals. It happened in one place, in a very interior place somewhere in Madhya Pradesh I went. And I was telling them, okay, let us take a firm commitment. Keep your hand on your heart, right hand on your left hand, heart. From today onwards, I refuse to be miserable. So one boy kept his left hand here. I said, why? He said, because my heart is here. I said, how come? He said, come and see. I was so surprised. His heart was not this side, just this side. So I said, you are aboriginal. You are aboriginal. So like the anatomy, physiology, these are at the causal level. What the doctors or the students study is at the causal level. And the causal level is manifested in the individual level, but because of that, it does not become individuality. See the difference? And this is what all the spiritual practice is. If we cease to live as individuals and come to recognize at the totality level, it is the same person that is expressing through everything and being. Such a master, he is able to understand and experience the pangs of hunger of others. Because the principle of hunger is common in all the beings. See, friends, he is no more living hunger as individuality, but hunger as a principle. See, therefore, from these 5 great elements, the sattvic aspect, 5 sense organs are created. Now, where the knowledge takes place, for example, colors and forms, they are seen by the eyes. But the knowledge does not take place in the eyes. Okay? We see the colors and forms through the glasses. In the glasses, the knowledge doesn't take place. There's something is round, something is flat. No, there are eyes behind. Similarly, the knowledge doesn't take place in the eyes. There is something behind. The something behind is called as the mind. And therefore, the next step at the causal level is this. Etesham panchatattvanam samashti satvika amshat manobuddhi ahankara chitta antakarnani sambhutani sankalpa vikalpatmakam manaha nishchayatvikam buddhi ahankarta ahankara chintankartruhu chittam manaso devata chandrama buddhehi brahma ahankarasya rudraha chittasya vasudevaha. So, etesham panchatattvanam madhye, of these 5 great elements, samashti satvika amsha. Now we are not taking individual sattvic aspect of the space, air separately. No. Now we are taking the sattvic aspect of all the 5 elements together. Samashti, not separate. Then what happens? From that, mana buddhi, ahankara, chitta, antakarnani, they are created. The antakarna means inner instrument. Eyes are external instrument. Eyes can see outside, they cannot see inside. So, these are called as bahikarna, responsible for collecting information from outside, and antakarna is the one where experience happens within. So, eyes are seeing the colors and forms, but the experience is happening in the mind. The ears are helping to collect the sounds, but the experience or the knowledge is happening inside in the mind. And therefore, there may be 5 sense organs, but antakarana is one, they are not 5. So the same antakarana is able to interpret the sounds, the touches, the colors and forms, the taste and the smell. But the sense organs are limited in their operations. The ears cannot go beyond the sounds. The skin cannot go beyond the touch. The eyes cannot go beyond the colors and forms. The rasana doesn't go beyond the taste. And the nose doesn't go beyond the smell. In this manner, the sense organs are object specific. But antakarana is the one which is able to cognize all the 5 kinds of objects simultaneously. Because it is made out of the sattvic aspect of all the 5 elements together as a homogeneous one. Now this antakarana has got further 4 aspects. Which are those 4? Mana, buddhi, ahankar and the chitta, 4 of them. Now here one very important thing to be noted, to be understood. Eyes have 2 aspects, structural eye and the functional eye. Ears have got 2 aspects, structural ear and the functional ear. Nose has got 2 aspects, the structural nose and functional nose. I was talking in some school to the kids, and then I asked, tell why God has given us nose and ears. One child said, for keeping the glasses. It's very true. You imagine if you do not have the nose flat, like some Chinese they have got flat. Then if you do not have the ear, where will you land it? So there is structural and functional. As regards the external organs are concerned, but when it comes to antakaran, inner organ, they are not structural differences, only the functional difference. See? Like man is husband, father and son. So when the man becomes son, when he becomes father or when he becomes husband, structurally he doesn't change. Structurally same. Functionally he changes. When he is before his father, he argues. When he is before his son, he listens. When he is before the wife, he keeps his mouth shut. Functionally different. But structurally the same. Where I went, in some brigadier's house. We were sitting, brigadier was there. We were having tea, coffee or something like that. And when brigadier Saab came, tap, 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 salutes. And when he came inside, first thing his wife said, now you are not a brigadier, okay? Okay, darling. Immediately, all the structural became functional. Narayana. So, the antakarana does not have the structural differences, only functional difference. Now, what is the functional difference? First, what is manaha? Sankalpa vikalpatmakam manaha. Let us go for the satsang. Should we go? Every day the same Brahman. Every day that you are not the body and you are not the jiva. Then what we are? No, but at least in Puri when you go, at least there is an AC, you can see. And then there is no obligation that you have to listen. So let us wait. But some guests are coming, then we must go. Otherwise they will eat our head. So this kind of dialogue which goes in us, this state of indecisiveness of thoughts is called as mind. So it is a state of indecisiveness. Sankalpa vikalpatmakam. Sometimes we should do this thing, no, it could be done this way. See, all the software engineers, they are the victims of this mind. They are constantly searching for the vikalpa. Therefore, they don't like to look at the people. They want only monitor. Therefore, mind is an indecisive state of the thoughts is called as the mind. Like, the confused person is called as the husband. Like the indecisive condition of the thoughts is called as mind. Then, nishchayatmika buddhi, second thing. When the state of the thoughts has reached a conclusive status, whether the conclusion is right or wrong, that is not our concern. I have to go means I have to go. I decided to go. But it is raining heavily, don't go. May what happen, I will go. So, that state of the thoughts is called as intellect. Then the third one is ahankarta, ahankaraha. The question is, whose doubt and whose decision? Of course, my doubt and my decision. The owner of the doubt and the owner of the decision, this ownership aspect of the thought is called as ahankar. Be very attentive. Ahankara is not the ego. Like the 5 great elements are the principal tattva. Then 5 sense organs are the tattva. In the same manner, Antakaran Chatushtaya is a Tattva. Ahankar is not ego. Many people wrongly translate it. Ego is like this mala. We discuss about this mala. Oh, this mala is very beautiful. How much it costs? After the satsang is over, I hope I get it, Then I will give it to my God. And he will not know where from it has come. देते हैं भगवान को धोखा, इंसान को धोखा. And when this mala is broken, don't worry, I not break. If it is broken, then all the flowers are separated, where the mala has gone. So this garland is an appearance, but is not. If there is only one flower, there cannot be a garland. If we live only in utter today, at this moment, there is no ego. But what we know ourselves to be, the summation of the total past. Longer the age, more the fools. Fools means flowers. And a very long mala. Children have got very short past, few flowers, short mala. But in both the cases, this mala or the summation of the total past is called as ego. So this ahankara is not ego. Ahankara is the one because of which all the five elements are staying together as a homogeneous one in the form of a body, the sense organs, etc. What is that? Which is holding the air inside. We are holy, isn't it? Navadvare Puri dehi naiva kurvanna kare. There are 9 holes in the body. If our car tire has one hole, all the air goes away. We have got 9 holes, still the air is maintained inside. What is that principle? That is called as the principle of ahankar. See? And now this principle of ahankar owns the doubt. This principle of ahankar owns the decision. This is ahankara, ahankartu. I have decided. I am confused. See? Ahankara, ahankartu. And then the chintana kartu chittam. What is chitta? Chitta is constantly thinking. During our childhood, the things are so different, We were listening to our parents, they never had any problem, we were sharing with everybody. But today's children, they don't listen to us, they don't behave properly. What could be the reason? The reason is very simple. We were lucky to have good parents. Our children are unfortunate. They have got awful parents like us, and therefore they are like that. This kind of unwanted thinking keeps on happening. This is the department of Chitta. In other words, Chitta is a memory bank of every individual. So, it is something like, you take the pen drive, 1 GB, 4 GB, 8 GB, 16 GB, 32 GB, 62 GB तक आ गया है. So, in that pen drive, it is a memory stick without any memory inside stored. But when you start using that memory stick and putting the data, the memory is there. In the same manner, when we are born, the memory stick is provided. Not 10 GB, 20 GB, infinite GB. And then keep on collecting the memory. And as a result, one day that memory stick or the hard drive becomes hang up. क्या हो गया? I don't know. Because there is such a chaos and commotion inside. See, all kinds of, because free download, Android, just check, is it required? No, it is free, so take freely. See? So, Chitta is a memory bank. Keep on accumulating. So, Mana, Buddhi, then Ahankar and Chitta. These four things are the inner instrument. And as I told you the other day, everything in this world has got three aspects: Adhyatmik, Adibhautik and Adidaivik. Adidaivik aspect is called as Devata. So, these four things, Mana, Buddhi, Chitta, Ahankar, they have got their special presiding deities. So, Manaso Devata Chandramaha, the presiding deity for the mind is moon. And therefore, on the full moon night and the Amavasya, in the asylum, there is a celebration. Because they get fully activated. Manaso Devata, Chandrama, Buddhehe Brahma. Brahmaji is the creator of the world. Buddhi is a faculty of creation. Mind can roam only in the known field. Mind cannot go beyond the known field. The penetration beyond the known field is achieved by the intellect. And therefore, when we want to praise somebody, we don't say, oh, he is very emotional. No, we say he is very intelligent. Intelligent person alone can go beyond the known frontiers of knowledge. Therefore, this Buddhi, the presiding deity for the Buddhi is Brahmaji, the creator. Then, Ahankarasya Rudraha. Rudra is the third deity who is presiding over the Ahankar. Rudra, the one who is responsible for us to cry, is Rudra. See? And therefore, the more we are, I have done this thing, I have done this thing, you will be more miserable we become. And then the fourth, Chittasya Vasudevaha. See, Vasudeva was the name of the father of Bhagavan Sri Krishna. And the Vasudeva is the place where Vasudeva is born. So, Chittasya Devata Vasudevaha. When our Chitta is free from all impressions, no Chintanam, thought-free state of the mind, in that the natural bliss which happens, that is Vasudeva, Bhagavan Sri Krishna. In this manner, these Mana, Buddhi, Chitta, Ahankar, they have got these four types of functional differences. And these functional differences are on account of the four presiding deities, namely Chandrama, the moon, Brahmaji. There is no translation in English, simply like Brahmaji, and Rudraha and Vasudeva. Now up to here, please don't forget, we are talking at a causal level. We are not come at individual level. The whole creation is nothing but cause and effect, totality and individuality. And when we become clear about this thing, that eyes are a functional entity, not the individuality. And therefore, when the eyes become blind, nothing happens to the mind. Similarly, when the mind dissociates itself from the body permanently, nothing happens to the conscious reality that we are. It is for this purpose we have to recognize our essential nature. Therefore, this topic is there. It is not made for dissecting. Okay, let me see in the Chitta, where is the Vasudeva? I will start cutting, nothing will happen. After this is done, Then the second aspect at the causal level is the active aspect. First was the knowledge aspect, second one is the active aspect. Now what is that active aspect? We shall study it tomorrow. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Hari